Now, he's not playing red this weekend. He's playing Obs on aggro. He's got a 7-2 record, but he is currently up a game here. Playing against Trevor Doetsch, who is also playing Obs on aggro. We know that deck is very popular, some with Hangerback Walker, some without, but people are loving their Anafenzas and Siege Rhinos this weekend.
And this weekend, both these players are on Hangerback Ops on. We saw Steven play this matchup yesterday. Post-board, he went into a Den Protector heavy plan. Had a game where he really pulled ahead on card advantage. Was not able to get it because he was only recurring Thought Seizes instead of kill spells.
Yep.
Died to a top deck.
Fleece main line here for Neal. Hangerback Walker is where Doetsch did start things. So we'll head to Doetsch's turn number 3. The mana looks to be okay here for Trevor. He does have a Windswept Heath in hand, so if he has an Anafenza that he'd like to play, that won't be an issue. He'll go with Caves of Koilos, however.
Isn't it interesting to me how the 2-drops size up? Normally when I watch this mirror match, Hangerback Walker seems really anemic across the board from a Fleece main line. However, with Doetsch on the play and removal spell up, it looks more appealing than normal here.
Yeah, it's weird because Hangerback Walker takes a little bit of time to get going. Now, once it gets going, it's quite good. You know, you work that thing into a 2-2 or a 3-3, it can start to dominate a game. It'll stop people from wanting to attack you. But as it stands, just being a 1-1 that can turn into a 2-2 right now, not terribly exciting, not all that scary for Steven. That's why we're going to see him attack with Fleece main line.
Yeah.
Things could go poorly here, but it looks like Doetsch is just going to take 3.
And there is a game, if you let your Hangerback Walker get to 3s, all of a sudden it can get Obs Uncharmed. When that happens, you don't get any Thopters.
Yep. There's definitely a little push-pull, I would say, as there's a Sandsep Citadel. Hero's Downfall is going to go after Fleece main line on the end step. So now the battlefield is clear here for Doetsch. And he'll be drawing a card.
Possible Doetsch hangs on to the Hero's Downfall there because he wants to snag something other than Fleece main line.
It's notable if he's attacking with Hangerback Walker instead of sitting back to charge it up, because I think now we have a Siege Rhino on the way.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah. Maybe a Planeswalker like Sorin, but if it was Sorin, I think we would have seen him play a pre-combat to plus. Maybe he's interested in a Vampire. Either way, we're going to have a 4-mana spell here in just a second.
Can't think of one I'd rather. I mean, I suppose it could be Hangerback on too, but
also fine.
I would expect it's the hallmark card of Obzon.
Yeah, and it is. Oh, and it's a foil one too. So Doetsch is going to go up to 17. Neal's going to fall down to 15. And Doetsch certainly ahead this game as he's looking to tie up this match.
You know, the rule of playing foil cards is, if you ever have a foil and a non-foil version of the same card in play, and your opponent has a kill spell, 10 out of 10 times your opponent kills the foil.
That's a rule. Yeah.
So when that happens to you, do you then just put the other one in the bin?
I may or may not. Depends on my mood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you meant to kill the
non-foil one, right? Yeah. I can get a little frisky sometimes.
I have 3 of my Amulet of Vigors are foil, and 1 is not. So if I ever have the non-foil one in play, and then there's one in the graveyard, I just switch them.
Yeah, a little swap.
Yeah.
And Anafenza here for Neal. Did not have a 4th land to play, however.
It's the nice part about the new Planeswalkers, those flip cards. You only, as long as you own 1 foil of it, you can just always cast the foil.
Just bring it out of the deck box.
Yeah, you have the other 3, but you're like, no, I always cast the foil. I drew the foil again.
I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
Sandsep Citadel for Doetsch, and he'll pass the turn back. Not going to try to attack through that Anafenza, so he's going to be looking to charge up the Hangerback Walker. Dromoka's Command here in Neal's hand. He's got a couple copies of Den Protector, the thing he's short on his lands. But he's going to start by attacking with Anafenza.
Yeah, and remember, with Anafenza in play here, Doetsch's Hangerback Walker will not make Thopters upon dying. That passive ability stops him from hitting the graveyard. So it's just a lowly Chronometon until that guy dies.
What's next here for Steven Neal? He's got quite a few options. Herald of Torment, Den Protector as a morph, Den Protector face up, I guess, if he wants to go that route. Could leave up mana for Dromoka's Command.
Based on how I saw him play the game yesterday, I doubt Den Protector ever hits face up in this matchup.
There's Herald of Torment. Pretty popular sideboard option for Obs on aggro players this weekend.
It's interesting. I would not have expected to see it in the sideboard just because of how good it makes a card like Dromoka's Command. But last time we saw this mirror match, both players did go for it.
Yep.
So the payoff seems to be worth the risk.
Hangerback Walker's up to a 3-3 now.
And right now, Trevor Doetsch, 7-1-1. He picked up a draw yesterday.
A great start to his weekend. He's going to play a Morph Den Protector. Pass the turn back. Hero's Downfall in the graveyard. Might have some interest in returning that. He's definitely underneath a lot of pressure right now, though. Neal Steel with Jamoka's Command in hand. Just trying to figure out the best spot to use it. But again, he's bottlenecked on mana at this point. Herald will deal him 1 during the upkeep. And there's the shoulder shrugging attack. What's the worst that could happen?
Sure.
One of my favorite Magic attacks by players.
Gets a counter under Herald of Torment, so it's up to 4-4. And look at just how much game Stephen Neal has going on in his hand. He does not have any more lands, but it's just flush with all sorts of 3-mana spells.
Yeah, the trick is just how he wants to sequence them. I think attacking first is a good idea to figure out what he wants to do moving forward, make Trevor react, and then he can react accordingly.
2 Den Protectors, a Dramoka's Command, a Hangerback Walker, a replacement Anafenza, and for when he finds that land, he has a Siege Rhino as well.
Looks like 8's going to come through. Doetsch is going to fall down to 5.
Yeah, so now Steven just has to be very judicious about the cards he wants to play. There's no way all these cards get cast before the game ends.
Yeah.
So if cards like second Den Protector, you can pretend that that card's not there.
Yep. He wants to work his way towards a Siege Rhino for obvious reasons.
Wants a 5, yeah.
Yeah, get him in range of the Rhino trigger. And he keeps eyeing up that Jamoka's Command. It's the card that's been sitting forward in his hand the most. It looks like he's going to tick up Hangerback Walker, Will Doetsch. Now he's going to unmorph Den Protector. That'll get a counter, of course, so it'll turn into a 3-2. Hero's Downfall will be the selection. And now we're going to head back Trevor's way. See what he can put together on this turn, because he's got a lot of mana to work with. A few cards in hand. We already know about Hero's Downfall. The question is, what else does he want to do?
Got to assume that the Downfall will tag the Herald of Torment. Now, there's a huge draw on Deutsch's side. He actually has a copy of Elspeth Sun's Champion in hand. Now, if you look at the powers on the board, Den Protector's a 3-2, Hangerback's a 3-3, Herald's a 4-4, and Anafenza's a 4-4. Elspeth is a one-sided Wrath right now.
It's pretty hard to pass up.
Thank you, guys. We'll get started in just a minute.
There's some cute plays Steven could have in response. If Steven has an Obzon Charm, he can put 1/1 counters on both of Deutsch's creatures.
I guess it would kill those.
Yep.
Though Hangerback Walker would then shoot out some Thopters.
Shoebox, if he sweeps the board and Hangerback and Anafenza are in play, do Thopters happen or not?
Hero's Downfall is going to go after Herald of Torment here. We had a feeling this one was going to happen.
Yeah, well, he has to, right? He can't. Going to 1 is so dangerous. So what I would assume when I'm playing against Obzon, if he's been stuck on three lands for this long, I'm assuming there's a Siege Rhino going to happen when the 4th land hits.
Sure. Here's Anafenza. And Doetsch will pass the turn back. He's at 4 now to cast that. Neal's been eyeing up that Jamoka's Command, as I mentioned, for some time now, so it looks like he might finally be casting it.
Now, guys wants to play something. May want to take a chance to fight down Hangerback, but I'll go with Anafenza. Will fight her clone.
Oh, if Neal has a removal spell here, game's over. Kill Den Protector, attack for the win.
Yeah. As it is, I don't believe he does, but he can force Trevor into a chump block. I am surprised that Trevor did not go for the Elspeth line last turn.
Yeah, me too.
Just because the line he went on really suggested that he would have to be chump blocking this turn.
There's Hangerback Walker for Stephen Neal.
You might get to a very interesting situation where if Trevor attacks with Hangerback, Steven will just chump to get a Thopter, because the 1 damage the Thopter would bring is sufficient to then make Siege Rhino lethal.
Elspeth is going to tick down, take care of Anafenza.
Yeah, and not to harp too much, that's not what I would have wanted to see Elspeth actually do here. Once he got rid of the flyer, I would have preferred to see Elspeth actually just +1 and make soldiers there for a turn. He can chump block both creatures, and then he gets to Elspeth a lot more counters. As it is right now, if Steven attacks with Hangerback Walker, Trevor has to just block, and then Steven gets a Thopter. And with that Siege Rhino, that's 4 damage.
Yeah. That's an avenue to victory.
Right. So if Elspeth had gone up, she'd have 5 counters on it. In Trevor's situation, I would say chump the Anafenza and maybe just let Hangerback or Walker hit the Elspeth and say, fine, good job.
Well, here comes Hangerback Walker now.
Yeah, and I mean, how telltale is this, right? Like, okay, you don't actually want to give him a Thopter.
But if he's attacking Elspeth, you don't want Elspeth to die. And if he's attacking you, you don't want to take 1 and fall to 3 against the Siege Rhino deck.
Yeah, I'm actually curious what Steven chose to attack here.
Either way, it's getting blocked. A Thopter is going to get made. And now here comes Siege Rhino.
Bump it off. Thud, he's down to 1.
Yep, Neal's going to push himself up to 14. And now Trevor's going to need some real help here because he's got to deal with the 1/1 flyer because it's lethal. Siege Rhino's trampling and such. So that's a bit of a concern. And then, of course, if Steven ever draws another Siege Rhino, this one's all over.
If Elspeth was at more counters, he could pump the Hangerback and then have Elspeth murder everything. He'd get a ton of Thopters.
Difficult spot here for Trevor.
Yeah, needs to answer the flyer. That's step 1. Question is, can he do that?
Active Elspeth, a trump card in this matchup, but doesn't have a lot of life to work with. Morph is Den Protector. Elspeth chicken up.
This is good and all, but you wonder, with 1 card left, I mean, does he have an answer to the Thopter? I can't imagine Steven's going anywhere else but upstairs with it.
Yep. Abzan Charm the draw.
Huge draw with that Siege Rhino attacking. He can exile a blocker. Remember, Rhino tramples. Very difficult for Trevor to not take 1 here.
Coming in with both.
Step 1, does he have the kill spell? No.
I guess he's just got nothing at all. So he was hoping that Steven wouldn't attack. The last card in Trevor's hand was Nanofense, and he extends the hand. So Steven Neal's going to win this match over Trevor Doetsch 2-0. The Abzan Aggro Mirror goes to the player on the left, and for Steven Neal, Pro Tour Magic Origins top 8 competitor, he's off to a pretty nice start here. 8-2. We believe that X-3 will be good enough, so he's got a loss to give.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Can go 4-1 in the remaining 5 rounds. I'd expect to see him in the top 8.
Yeah. Congratulations to Steven Neal, winning the Abzan Aggro Mirror after working his way out of a little bit of mana screw there. So